Just a brief video. It's like there's a lot to say about my friends, but I just want to mention, do a video about my friends that I had in school. I was really shy, so I didn't have a lot of friends and stuff. So there was, I know there was like a kid down the street when I was really young. It's like, and I was, you know, second, third grade, fourth grade, something like that. It's like there was a kid down the street named Alvin, and I was friends with him. I think he had a crush on me. It's like I liked him too. Um, there was Alvin. Don't even recall his last name. The it's like I remember years later when I was a teenager, I was still at home, and they had moved away. He and his family moved away, but he came back and knocked on the door, and I didn't answer the door. My mother did, and so she kind of like, it was him, and she kind of shooed him away. So I didn't get to say hello to him. It's like she, talked to him for like maybe a minute, and then he left. Because it's like, he just wanted to say hello to us. But I didn't get to see him then. It's like kind of a shame that didn't get to see him. And then there was in junior high school, I had a girlfriend named Fanny Hurd. She was a black girl, and we were friends like around the eighth, ninth grade. Unfortunately, we didn't see each other after that because she went to a different high school. So I lost touch with her. And actually, some years ago, I found her through, we found each other through the internet or something, and we had like a brief discussion over the internet. But then, that was at least 10 years ago, probably 12 years ago or something. And I haven't heard from her since. We haven't heard from each other since. And then there was a girl named Isa Espinoza. I was friends with her in both uh, grammar school, 135th Street School, and also we were around fourth, fifth grade, something like that. I think we kind of like separated around the sixth grade, and then we became friends again, or like closer again, gathered again in the junior high school, Henry Clay Junior High School, and so we were friends up until like around, I think probably about halfway through the eighth grade or so, and at that point, it's like junior high was seventh through ninth grade. Um, at that point, she got in with some popular girls. I think the popular girls got, like liked her or something, and so they made friends with her. And I'm certain, absolutely certain, that they told her not to talk to me because I was like shy and nerdy and stuff, so I wasn't cool enough to be in their circle or anything. So she actually stopped talking to me. I remember she was in a class. We were in one of our classes, and she was sitting directly in front of me, and she wasn't talking to me anymore. So I don't know whatever happened to her. I think she did get married. I know she became like a cheerleader. She went to Gardena, ended up going to Gardena High School, different high school than I went to. I went to Washington, and she was a cheerleader, and I've seen pictures of her in the yearbook and stuff. But and then I've gone to some of the they have like an all-year high school reunion for Gardena. Even though didn't go there, it's like I would go to that, and they'd have them every year. So I went to that a few times, and I asked about, if they ever heard from her, and the one girl actually knew her. The one woman actually knew her, and she said it's like she says I don't know what happened to her because it's like we've been out of touch for ages, and she hasn't contacted us or anything either. So anyway, that's like, and then Sandy Ormstein. Her her married name is Sandy Allen. We were good friends in grammar school, and then in junior high school too. And then at some point, she moved out of the area. We were really good friends. She was into horses, and she was a great artist. And she moved, I think, to Ventura with her sister. Moved in with. She had a much older sister, and so she moved in with her for a while. And then early on, like around in the early '70s, she moved to Vegas, and I lost track of her. But we found each other again on Facebook. Actually, it's like I think I had a conversation with her in the late 2000s, and then we were, it's like we regrouped again and found each other on Facebook and stuff, and so it's like we communicate through Facebook. And then there's Lori and Vera, and in my when I started George Washington High School, I didn't have any friends in the first first year, 10th grade. Nobody wanted to be friends with me, and because I was white, and then when I started the 11th grade, there were two girls that ended up showing up. That they started their the 10th grade, and Vera Sanchez, she came up and she actually talked to me. I was sitting there on one of the benches and at like lunchtime, I think, and she came up and started talking to me. So she sat down. We started having lunch together, and then she was telling me about her friend Lori Brown, and so we became friends. And then Lori was out sick or something, and so she came. When Lori started, she introduced me to her, and so we were all sitting together. We got along great. We had similar personalities and everything, and so there was like the trio of us in high school in the 11th and 12th grade. My 11th and 12th grade. It was their 10th and 11th grade. So it's like it was great to connect with them, to be with them and have friends with them. And in recent years, just very recent, I mean, maybe only a year ago, it's like I found both of them on Facebook. So we've been communicating on Facebook. So it's like the internet's done. It's like the uh, social media and the internet has been like a real blessing in a lot of ways, because I've actually been able to find people and communicate with people I haven't seen or heard from in decades, and that's the way that was. It's like I graduated a year before them. I graduated 71, and their graduation date was 72. And at some point, what happened is I think about the last year, beginning of the last year or something, Vera ended up going to Gardena High School because her younger sister, did not want to go to Washington, so they got some kind of validation or something, and excuse or something, and they were able to go to Gardena. And then Lori, I think, didn't quite finish, but I think she got her GED or something. I can't quite remember, exactly what happened, but she did graduate, and she actually went to college too. And then I was in touch with them for some years after that, and then at some point we fell off the planet. We all fell off the planet or something, and then I was able to reconnect with them on Facebook in recent years. So, and ended up going back. Her family was originally from New Mexico, so she went back to New Mexico some years ago, and Lori is in Idaho. And I remember going to see Lori back, when at one time she was living in El Cajon, and I used to go and visit her, and that was like when we were still like in our 20s and stuff. So, but it was good to. I'm glad we reconnected. So that's just try to, just wanted to talk about some of the friends I had when I was young.